and go to the book of Proverbs. Book of Proverbs is in the Old Testament, center left. Isaiah's kind of in the center, but center left. If you're not sure exactly where Proverbs is and you have a Bible, look in the table of contents. It's right after Psalms. And when you get there, I want you to go to the 17th chapter of the book of Proverbs. The 17th chapter of the book of Proverbs. When you got it, say, I got it. All right. If you don't have it, say, wait a minute. Okay, well, we'll wait on you. We'll wait on you. It's page 620 if you got a Bible just like mine. If you don't have a Bible just like mine, then you have to find it. And today, the translation that I'm reading from, I usually teach from the New International Version, but I'm using the Common English Bible, which is a brand new translation, 2010, just came out. Pastor and I have been sort of field testing it because we're looking for a common translation. The Revolution component has used one, and Joy has used another, and we're looking for one. And so this is one that both of us find very exciting and unique. It is in contemporary English, not in slang English, but contemporary English. As a matter of fact, their advertisers say if you can read USA Today, you can read this. Because I don't want anybody saying they don't understand the Bible. Now, I'm tired of hearing that. I don't understand. Well, if you don't understand, it's because you're not reading it. Because it's right here to be read. 17th chapter and the 9th verse. And I'm reading from, and then I'm going to go to the 19th chapter and the 11th verse. I'm starting at 17:9. And it'll read a little differently, but I want you to pay attention to it. One who seeks love conceals an offense, but one who repeats it divides friends. You say amen if you want to, that's all right. One who seeks love conceals an offense, but one who repeats it divides friends. And then if you look at the 19th chapter, which for me is just on the next page, but you might have to turn a little bit. The 19th chapter and the 11th verse, and remember, I'm reading from the Common English Bible. It says, insightful people restrain their anger. Their glory is to ignore an offense. One more time. One who seeks love conceals an offense, but one who repeats it divides friends. Insightful people restrain their anger. Their glory is to ignore an offense. Well, I want to take a few moments with you this morning and talk about how to handle offenses. I want to talk about how to look at the person next to you and say, this morning, you ought to shout about that because it's still morning. Amen. Say, this morning, Pastor Williams is going to tell us how to handle offenses. Solomon, the wisest man in the Bible, is the author of the book of Proverbs. For that reason, because he is the wisest man in the Bible, it falls into the category of wisdom literature. The Bible is divided in different categories. This falls into the category of wisdom literature. Wisdom is the skillful application of knowledge. We have such an emphasis in the secular culture on knowledge. Go to school. Get a degree. If you can't get an education, at least get a degree. Get an education. Get a degree. Knowledge is power. You know, people who know. Knowledge is the new currency. Everything is about knowledge, but very little is said about wisdom. No. Knowledge may tell you how to do it, but wisdom will tell you if you ought to do it. I'm going to say that one more time. Knowledge may tell you how to do it, but wisdom will tell you if you ought to do it. Because there are a lot of things that you can do that you shouldn't do. Am I right or wrong? That we're in the condition that we're in the world because of smart people. It's not dumb folk running these corporations, and it's not dumb people in office. It's not uneducated people. They didn't just sweep somebody off the homeless track and put them in charge of stuff. These are smart people. They have knowledge, but rarely do they have wisdom. And that is why Solomon, the wisest man who ever lived, said that wisdom is the principal thing. It's the chief thing. My dad used to say it like this, who was not a formally educated man, but he was a wise man. And he said, the difference between knowledge and wisdom is the difference between the axe head and the axe handle. He said the axe head is knowledge. The axe handle is wisdom. He said, now if all you have is the axe head, all you can do is chop kindling wood. He said, but if you put a handle on it, you can chop down a tree. You can take a tree down. I thank God there's some wisdom that you get simply because you get older. I encouraged a dear friend of mine about their teenage son that they're having all kind of issues with. And I tried to help them, encourage them by telling them, don't worry about it, because the older they get, the smarter you'll get. Now, between 16 and 18, they think you're a blithering idiot. But when life begins to slap them around, no, some of you all sitting in this room didn't think your fathers and mothers had any sense at all. But as you got older, you found out that the things that they said to you, the things that they said to you could stand closer scrutiny and examination, that the older you got, the smarter they got. Oh yeah, I'm a genius to my children now. They're all grown. When they was teenagers, my whole agenda was to keep them from enjoying life. If it wasn't for mom and daddy, I could really enjoy my life. Then when you finally get out there, said, Mama didn't lie. Some of y'all old enough to remember that song, Mama didn't lie. Yeah, didn't lie. So I'm saying that wisdom is the chief thing. Wisdom is the skillful application of knowledge. And what I want to do today is pass on some wisdom, some knowledge to you, really. I want to pass on some knowledge that I believe that you can skillfully apply to your life and be wise. And the message that God has given me today may seem kind of strange, but it's not. Because the Lord said to me that this is a message with universal application and universal implication. How to handle offense. Why would you preach that on a family and friends day? Because everybody in this room has at some time been offended. I said everybody in this room has at some time been offended. And here's the other side, since y'all won't say amen to that. And everybody in this room has sometime been an offender. The offenses that we've suffered have ranged from the trivial to the serious. Some offenses have just annoyed us. Others have devastated us. Some were unintentional, just people brushing up against each other. Some of them were premeditated. Some offenses are easily shaken off, and others take on a life of their own. Now, identifying the source of offense is simple and obvious. Look to your left. I said, look to your left. Now look to your right. You have seen the source of offense.